very much. You come out the back room on me.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I just let one go in there, man. They was holding it for 2 weeks.
Oh, there's another one.
You need no introduction.
Y'all know Thom. He started off in porno. I had to let him go.
The very first horror show that I ever got to interview anybody, because we do panels, we get invited to do panels, but when we go to cons and we're not doing panels, we still set up lights, cameras, red carpet, and then we go and we politely ask these guys, hey, would you like to take 10, 15 minutes to come sit down over here in these nice comfy chairs and talk to us? And he was kind enough to do that, so I've already got to talk to Thom after. So it's like a, it's like a reunion with him.
So in other words, don't pay no attention to Thom, just listen to us.
No, it's like good to see you again. I love it. I'm glad that I'm still doing this. I know you were going to be still doing it. Obviously, you do important things. I'm just a YouTuber. Guys, this is your Return of the Living Dead panel here at the Oklahoma City Horror Con. And you guys, no. I didn't know if y'all were like saying anything important or not.
I was asking about Thom, because I went to a convention like about 4 or 5 months ago, and he was supposed to be there, and they said he didn't make it because he rushed to the hospital. I was just asking anybody knew what happened, if he was okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so what's the verdict? Did we laugh?
So I'm just curious. So anyway, hi.
Okay, y'all. Mr. Thom Matthews. Mr. Miguel Núñez Jr. And Miss Linnea Quigley, y'all. If you guys were unfortunate enough to not make the special viewing last night, you really did miss out. She killed it during the Q&A, and a lot of people had a really good time. All right, so y'all know how it goes. I'm going to ask each of these guys one easy question. Something basic. This is where your creativity comes along out there, where you guys get to ask all those questions that you really wanted to ask. Okay. Thom, we heard a little something about you doing your own stunts.
I did a lot of my own stunts, except for in the chapel, where they pushed me and I fall back. They didn't want to take the chance. Something. I'm having a second move, but pretty much, yeah. I busted the door. I went down the hallway. Yeah. I've always done physical. I was doing sports in high school and growing up and stuff like that. So I like doing it. So I'm trying to do as many as I can. Insurance allowing it, because there's a limit. Yeah, he signs a waiver. Or buys the insurance company.
Okay. So get it. Microphone works, or he can pass his, or whichever one you want to do. What is it like to be part of such an iconic franchise that even years after it's been released, people still flock in numbers to see?
I think I can't even explain it. Like I said, it's something you can't predict, you can't imagine, you can't foresee. So I mean, to have you know what you would do if you hit the lottery. You know what kind of joy that's gonna bring. You know what kind of joy it's gonna bring if you're a young child. But to do a movie, you think you're gonna do. I've done 140 movies. You think you're gonna do a movie and it's gonna just be out there and then you're like, but you never know when you're gonna do a movie that has the impact that this has. It's as shocking to me, probably the impact of the whole country was. I don't know, probably to both of these people as well. You're just blessed. You don't know. You never know what'll happen. We had no idea when we shot this little movie we were gonna be like this. We making money. We just doing a movie. That's all we thought. But we had the most fun. It was still to this day one of the best times I ever had in my life. And we were all new. And it was just like a, you get 20.
Let's
but that's real. Because we were together for so long, early in the morning, late, going through the rain. We hated the rain part. When the rain came, we got to be all soaked and wet, and it was like, it was uncomfortable, and we were all uncomfortable together, experiencing this together. And then she got naked and changed my whole life. If you notice the movie, when she got naked, before this now, next time you watch again, before she got movie, you probably don't remember this. Before she got naked, I wasn't holding her hand in every scene. She got naked. And that wasn't in the script. I couldn't, and when I was like looking at her like that, I was like, that was my first one. I'm thinking about like, damn, I didn't know you could do this in a movie. I was like, all that on my face was real. I was losing the business, so I mean, that's what you really don't know. It's amazing, it's awesome, it's incredible. People still wearing the shirt and the toys, and they've got this little bitty media warehouse plaque selling it, all of this shit selling it, and the Tar Man can selling it, and they got little dolls of things. Like, what the hell happened here? Yeah, but it's absolutely amazing, and the actors that happened to in their careers are truly famous.
That's awesome, yes.
And it ain't about us. It ain't about us. It's about you. It's about the people. It's about the fans. Because that's a lot of movies. But they don't go out there and do this. So I give credit to you guys. And I thank you guys for supporting that as long as we all do. I know that people that work 2 hours or 3 hours. Like, how long take you in? 3 or 4 hours? Damn, I don't think I go that far to see my mama's funeral.
Your easy question is going to be, Ms. Quigley, did you know that our store manager still does the Linnea Quigley horror workout?
Your
Yes.
store manager does the horror workout?
Yes.
As a workout or something else?
He does it, all right.
Oh, okay, he does it. Okay, got
Does he do it naked?
I don't know, Brando.
Oh, he's here?
No, he's watching. Do you do it, Nate?
He probably don't do it now. Ooh.
He's going to be like, just glad he asked the question.
Yeah, hold right now.
Oh, there she is. You know he's filming the screen.
That's how he really breathes in real life.
See?
Is he a mouth breeder?
Okay. Y'all gonna take any boxes out of the way. I'm finna go lunch.
He don't talk like that. Sorry, Brandon.
It's fine. It's true.
All right, we have a young man out here. Yeah, with the microphone, that's Lexington.
Hi, Lexington.
If I was Batman, he would be Robin.
Oh, okay.
Or Alfred, whichever one you want to see.
Yeah.
He is going to take the microphone around, so if you guys would like to ask these people some questions, just hold your hand up. Raise your hand.
Hi, this question is for Thom. Of course, at the end of Friday the 13th, part 6, you send Jason back to his grave.
To hell.
Yeah, to hell! But I was wondering, of course, Jason always comes back in some fashion, you know, he always returns. I was wondering if they were to have asked you to, back in the day, when of course you came back for Never Hike Alone, which those ones are awesome, if they would have asked you to come back for part 7, if they were like, hey, we want Tommy Jarvis to play Jason again, would you have done it?
Oh, sure. Sure. Someone actually just sent me a script how to resurrect him, which would have been cool in part 7. So, well, maybe not then, because now we have global warming because of the Camp Crystal is sinking, the water's sinking. You got a drone shot going over Camp Crystal Lake. You see Jason just fly over. A lightning bolt comes down and blasts him in the head and brings him back to life. So that would have been cool. But yeah, I absolutely would have done it. Sure, why not?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This one's more for Miguel. To sort of preface it, Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive is basically known as being like he was coked out of his mind the entire time, giving it the fluidity and craziness of the film. Are there any crazy good stories of everyone partying on set, or anything going on to make it fun, or any exciting stories where anything happened crazy just randomly?
I plead the fifth.
Stephen King?
No. I didn't know that
Stephen
either.
King on coke?
I didn't know that either. I didn't know any of that either. But listen, I have to tell honestly, like I said, most people don't know this, but I was still homeless when I was. So they didn't know this. And I was just going to the set. And I was just fresh off the boat. All of that stuff that they're talking about, I wouldn't even know if it was going on. But I heard all this shit you just named was going on. So let's talk to some other people about it. Not with them though, but with some other people that was on the set. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some shit like that going on. We worked, which I didn't find out 2 years later, but I heard there was a whole lot of that going on. But it wasn't with nobody else here, I can tell you that. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Because of what I paid. But if you got in it now, just kidding. Totally kidding. No, listen, now, like I said, I didn't see any of that. I didn't even know any of it was going on. I didn't even hear anything about it going on. How I found out about it was one of these years ago, and somebody up here got into it, and they started telling about it. I'm like, God damn, where was I when all this was going on? Where was I? What? Did that happen? Really? So yeah, there was a thing going on. But mostly it was just creativity, working, all of us not knowing. That's why I said it wasn't even us. It was somebody in a little clique that was doing that, which we weren't even aware of until later. A couple of people were aware of it. But ours was just creative, having fun, and just working. So if you expected in the dirt, next!
Thanks for being here, guys. It's kind of a question to all of you. So there's like a lot of news right now going on with the reboot, remake in the works. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Boo!
If they do something with that, would you guys be interested in helping out with some of that stuff or anything like that? And okay.
I wouldn't. I think they should leave it alone.
I think they should leave it alone. Unless we all came back as zombies and we were still friends. Yeah. And then you were still naked. And then we saw you. And we all went for it.
That's another movie.
No, I think we should leave it alone. I think, like, you guys are here, and then if you see the next one, and it's not what's there, and you're going to be comparing it, and you're going to and it's going to put a stain on what we've already done. That's my personal opinion. And it would cost way too much money to get me to do it.
Or worse, the new one. Whoever they cast for the roles to the new one, they've got tremendous shoes to fill that's like impossible to do
And
so.
they won't do it.
No, it can't happen. So then it'll never be held on that level, and then they're going to feel some type of way about it the rest of their life. Let's just not put those people through that.
Can you imagine trying to cast a James Karen type character?
You can. Or Clue Gallagher.
Or Clue, yeah.
Or me.
Or Don Salsa.
Or you.
Or me.
Megan Fox.
She's doing naked.
Megan,
Yes.
all she got to do is take off her clothes, don't talk.
We love you, Megan. And your boyfriend.
Machine Gun Kelly?
Yes.
Are they together?
They back? They went back out. They back together. I heard
Oh.
after that they talked. They're back together.
Oh.
We have to accept him by proxy through her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not a choice.
No. There's no choice.
Next.
I'm sorry. My question is for all of you.
You have amazing hair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of shooting Return of the Living Dead?
The dry parts. Where it was not raining.
Yeah.
Anything where it wasn't raining, I was like happy with.
We had a lot of. We really did.
Yeah.
My favorite part was just the camaraderie. All of that camaraderie, we working, and then they found through the door. Okay, and action. And then they stuck the thing to it. Come on, what are you doing? You stupid fucker! And all this stuff, and just knocking it, and just all that, and him running in and busting through the door. Tina! And we were watching stuff. We were watching everybody act, everybody just doing that other stuff, and we were just so excited. As you can see in the film, but that's part of the reason you like it, because and the reason it worked well with all of us together, because we were we were uninhibited by all the Hollywood shit. We were just there to create, and we were just so excited about everything, and we really got into it. Then we were like, you do this way, you do that way. Thom had all that stuff on his face. He put that bone stuff in his mouth. He had to bust through it. He had to play it real, and it was like, wow. We were all clapping for each other. So for me, it was the camaraderie, it was the creativity, it was the friend that I made, and that's what it was for me. So,
I agree with everything that Miguel said. For me, on top of that was getting to know James Karen. We had a lot of great scenes together, and he was a veteran actor, and I was just coming up, and he had so many great stories, because we were sitting in the makeup chair for hours on end. He would tell me all the great stories. He was on, he was on Broadway. He was a gentleman caller in Streetcar Named Desire on Broadway. Just had so many stories, and just getting to know him. And then we found out on part 2 that we had the same birthday. So we shared our birthdays together for, until he passed 5 years ago. But that was a very special time. And just going to work every day for 5 weeks, it's a young actor. I did a lot of commercials. Those are like 1 or 2 days, maybe a week long if you're on a location somewhere. But for 5 weeks straight, just getting out. And I remember for me going to the set one day, and I had just had a conversation with my mom, and she said no. And on the way to the set, I was like, I haven't heard no on the set, because we talked about everything. We talked about the character development, we talked about the arc of the character, what to wear, everything was like talked about. It wasn't just like a flat note like it was from my mom, so it made me realize what a unique experience it was. And as far as the remake, you just can't touch it, we were making a drama, and how it became this thing, I have no idea. And you can't even try to make a movie like this. I think it just happened out of an organic, situation. It just, everything kind of fell into place.
That's true, because if you would have tried to make a zombie horror movie comedy, it would have been out.
Yeah.
It just happened.
It truly is a dark comedy. As opposed to part 2 where they actually went for the jokes. Part 1 is truly a dark comedy because we played it for real. And we laugh at our situations that we're getting into. Not what we were, we weren't making jokes. We played it real. It's really, could be just those situations that we were cutting off the yellow guy's head, the yellow corpse's head. I was laughing my ass off, and I was grossed out at the same time when I was watching the movie. I'm like, oh God. And I've never felt that in a movie ever in my life. So I was like laughing but grossed out at the same time. Couldn't believe what the hell I was watching. But that was a continual thing through the whole movie. So you just, it's lightning in a bottle that became a living day. It truly is.
Okay, this question is for Miguel. Biscuit and Life, Pretty Ricky Fontaine and Martin, and Reggie the Chicken King in A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. What was it about your chemistry with Martin Lawrence that just made comedic magic whenever you guys got together?
I was coming out of somewhere from doing a stick Scooby-Doo out in Australia, doing Scooby-Doo for like 6 months. And I came back and they go, Martin, they want you to come in and read for Martin. I didn't really know Martin at the time. And so I went in there and I was trying to get out of there. There's about 10 other brothers in there and I go in and I'm like, man. And then I was like, so they gave me the scene right there and I was like, what is this? And she said, okay. And there was a lot of, the Pretty Ricky lines. And then I look around and then she go in the back and she come and say, anybody want to go there? I said, I go. Yeah. She said, well, you just got it. I said, I don't care. I just do it. I'm waiting on these people. Let's go. And then I went in there and they said, Mark said, listen, man, don't worry about what the line. I want you to just, you give me something. I was like, that's all I need. And killed it and walked out there and they gave it to me in the room. So when I was out, those 10 actors would read for nothing. So they still have to read them. And ever since then, from that point on, every single time he had a movie, I didn't let out that she just called me there. Because if you notice, Reggie was just like Pretty Ricky. Reggie was Pretty Ricky. So it's just, and we became friends. So just knock it out. Every job you get, knock it out. I was telling some guy out there, he was talking about he's being an actor, they offered me there is no little role. I've gotten movies from one little stinking scene in a TV show. I've gotten a TV series from one little stupid scene in a movie. Just knock out everything you do, take every job.
Work begets work.
Absolutely.
Always, absolutely.
And treat every job as important as you. I treat a $35,000 movie the same way I treat a $150,000 movie.
This question is to Thom. Friday the 13th, Part 6. It's my favorite in the series. Boo! Sorry. Damn enchiladas! I got one for 5. This is for you. A 2-part question. 1, what was your favorite part about filming Part 6? And 2, at the end of the movie, when you're going to Jason coming in the lake and talking shit, was that in the script or was that ad-lib?
What I liked about the movie was, well, again, I did it a year after I did Return of the Living Dead, so that was great. I was coming up with another movie, so I was leaving Mexico and going to Georgia to film that one, which never happened for me before. So I had 2 movies back to back, which was kind of cool. And then just going into Georgia and filming, and the opening sequence for me is probably sets up the whole movie, and it's just really shot well and really dynamic and stuff. And what was the second question? Oh, yes. Thom came to me in that scene because Jason was in the cabin with the kids, and Megan was right there, and he busts out and he goes, I don't know how to get him down to the lake. I said, well, just call him. I said, come on, Megan, it's me you want, remember? It's me you want. And he's going to crush her head, and he turns on her and he forgets about her, and yes, it's me he wants, so he comes down to the lake, and that's how that transition happened.
So it was ad-lib.
It was ad-lib, and it was my idea.
I want to say something to Thom that I've never said, and I've never even said at any power, and this is true. I don't know if I ever tell you this, but I remember when I was doing, like I said, I was new. And you did the scene when you busted into the chapel, you did that. But the scene, and I remember watching you, remember you came in there, and you like, you had the scene, and you were like, something wrong before you said, I don't know, it's when your heart didn't come up. I remember looking at you, I never told you, I remember you like this going, in my mind, damn. I literally thought you were the best actor. Because I only did 1 or 2 scenes with Clue and none with what's his name. And I remember thinking you were the best actor ever. Because I remember you had those big scenes. He was like, it hurts, Tina. It hurts. You came in there with the lady and you fell on the floor. He goes, tell us what happened. That scene, I remember. That's when I was looking at you and you were doing that shit. I was like, damn, that guy is good. I literally thought you were the best actor in that movie when we were doing it.
You talking about the transition when I died?
Yeah.
I died in our arms. Yeah. That was fun. It was a great part. I mean,
the scene when you came in there with the lady on the thing and fell on the floor. When you said, "Sorry," when we were trying to find out where you were, and he was like, "That thing." That one, I was like, "Damn, that's good."
Yeah, it was a fun part. It's a great part for an actor. I mean, going from an innocent kid to a full-blown brain desiring zombie was a lot of fun.
And Dan did have a lot to do with it too, because like you were saying earlier, I do a movie, they take you to the wardrobe and say, hey, wardrobe people try it on, take 5 pictures, and they go, that's it, you don't talk to them no more. The directors look at the pictures and say, oh yeah, that's good, and then they have whatever he picked at the scene. That's usually how wardrobe works. Dan wanted us there, you had to look at it, check it out, know every single aspect of it. So he had a lot to do with it, with how it came out. Dan, and it's every scene he was there and kind of think, I want this hand to come out when Skull got bit, what's his name? In the head, all of that. Yeah, Dan Skull was his name. But Dan had a lot to do with it. We didn't see his genius. We didn't recognize his genius. But
we thought he was crazy.
We thought it was crazy. Yeah. But the reason everybody's here is because of his genius. The reason this thing is left is because of his genius. He saw what we don't read. He saw what we didn't see there. He did.
I want to say the same thing. Part 6, absolutely my favorite Friday. That being said, I do love Demon was one of my favorite characters. No, Demon was one of my favorite characters. Hands down. I mean, he's just
yes, ask your question, sir.
My question is actually for Miss Quigley. In the movie, you said.
How did you like part 6?
I did like part 6. In the movie, you talked about how the different ways you wanted to die, and you were like, I've always read about some guys just biting me and everything else. So I was always curious, whenever you actually do get eaten in the giant pile of zombies, was Trash secretly excited at that point?
I don't think so. I think she was terrified.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, dreams and reality don't really go together.
I don't like this anymore.
It
I think
hurts.
she was like scared.
It wasn't Ric Flair taking a bite out of her, guys.
My question is for Miguel, right? So, yeah, Demon's one of my favorite Friday characters.
Yay!
But I noticed that, like, Demon and Spider are so close together, like, the way you guys look, maybe act. Was that intentional, or is that just, it was the same here?
Every movie I put a little me in everything. It did to me too, but no, it didn't actually. So it's just totally the way it came out.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And I got a question for you. Why she didn't bring it up my phone?
How long apart were those two characters done? Was it a year apart? Or?
Yeah.
About a year apart?
Because they were the first two.
So I did Return and Friday the 13th a year apart as well, and someone pointed out to me that I had suspenders for both of the characters, which I hadn't really even, they pointed it out to me, so it's like, you are where you are in that period of life, 2 or 3 years, you get the same impulses and stuff, and vice versa for me as well.
Hi, this question's for all of you. Do you have a favorite special effect from the film?
I do. The lady on the table, and she said, "Oh, that makes the pain go away." And then when the little spine whipped to the other side,
I agree. That was not cool.
Their spine jumping back.
I love that shit. And it had juice coming out of it.
Spinal fluid.
Having a conversation with a zombie in that situation, and it was enlightening to us to understand what they were going through. It was very enlightening.
It had never been done. We never had cared about how damn zombie feel.
And it became, Return is part of pop culture now, because now whenever you think of a zombie, they're going through brands now because of Return of the Living Dead, so it's become part of the
And that's how you kill them, too.
And we were like this when it was like, oh, wow. And Skulls. Brian had already got killed. He was one of the people under the table operating. Because it took like 3 or 4 guys to operate. One through the spine, one through the leg, one through the head, one through the eye. And he was actually one of those people under the table operating. And I went to some convention like 2 or 3 years ago, and the guy had the actual one.
He did?
And split dogs. I'm like, how do you get this? He said they had a sale online of everything that was in that warehouse, and it was going for next to nothing. And he bought the animated lady for $200. I'm like, why would they fucking come? Excuse me. Why would they come to us first? He had the real one. And I offered him $1,000. He said, hell no.
Wow.
They had split dogs. Remember they were moving in the warehouse? Now, I didn't think about it, and I would have had everything on that set. Because ever since I did movie, I got a gremlin, I got a critter, I got one of the glasses from, and the jackets from, what is it, Keanu Reeves movie? The Matrix. I got every set I go, I don't give a damn. Eddie Murphy movie, every one of them, I got something on. Pitch me, nigga, I'm out the dope. I got everything. I would have had all that shit if I thought about it.
You bring your suitcase.
The split dogs would have been cool, but also the board of the butterflies too would have been cool.
That's the one I want. The one that was moving, yes. Damn, I forgot about that.
That'd be cool. What I wanted was my jacket, my red and white jacket that said F you on the back of it. But Dan also made a TV version, and I want.
Why did you get that?
He thought he had the foresight of thinking that it might possibly be on television, so he had another jacket made, and it said, literally it said, and this is the one I wanted, TV version on the back of the jacket. That's the jacket I wanted.
His wife gotta have it. You can get it. I can get it for you.
I can get it.
Yeah, no, but his wife still gotta have that shit. She calls, trying to write all the time.
So, this question is technically for all three of you. Of course, all three of you guys have done a ton of wonderful movies. You guys have all been in a bunch of stuff. And none of you are a stranger to doing uncomfortable scenes. I mean, Miguel, you were stuck in an outhouse for a long time, and Linnea especially, I mean, even in Nightmare on Elm Street 4, being in the Freddy body, it looked very uncomfortable. I wanted to know from all three of you what you guys thought was the most uncomfortable scene to shoot out of all your movies.
For me, it was being in the boat with the fire because of the special effects stuff. You turned the gas up too high. I had a couple issues with him on that movie, but that was because I could feel the flames. I thought I was going to burn my hair off. So I was uncomfortable in that scene. And also, when I stabbed the spear into Jason before he resurrects and before the lightning bolt hits, or just after the lightning bolt hits, it's supposed to smoke. So I'm in the grave, you know, my feet at the bottom, pulling the spear up, but they want smoke. So there's the same idiot, he's spraying the spear with something, I don't know what it is, to make it smoke. I don't know if it's acid, he's got the fan blades going in my eyes. I said, what are you doing? They didn't tell me what it was. So that was probably the only time. And being under the water stuff, you would think would make me uncomfortable, but you know, we took it slow, and there was a guy off 10 feet away. I wanted oxygen. So we were underwater for about 20 to 30 minutes at a time. So that was pretty cool.
I think the most uncomfortable I was on a TV show called Tour of Duty. It was the first TV show I was on. It was a Vietnam show where we were shooting in Hawaii.
Episodic, right?
Yeah. And the director wanted me to eat a bug. The episode was me and one of the other, we were in a platoon, one of the other soldiers get separated and we get lost and stuff. And so he kept saying, the director, you know, when the back of those, like, hey, mate. And every time he came and said, I was like, hey. He said, hey, again. He said, hey, y'all eat a bug for me, mate? I said, yeah. Every day he said, eat a bug for me, mate? I'm like, yeah, what the hell is this man talking about? Eat a bug for what the hell that means? So then they came back with the script and they said, they want you to eat the bug. Automatically assumed it's going to be a chocolate or something.
Yeah, of course.
And they said, bring in the bug wrangler. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then they brought this guy over this big ass can and he took these tweezers and put out the biggest water bug you ever seen in your life. And he said, you got to eat this. I'm like, eat your damn bug. He said, you got to eat the bug that's in the script. I'm like, so you got a real bug? And the director said, listen, if I give you this bug and you put it in your mouth, the moment I cut in somebody's face, they're going to come back to you, they're going to know he cut, it wasn't a real bug. He said, he goes, no, he was saying, he was giving me all these, think about it. Blank did this, and he dropped something, and Pasquale did these other big actors that had did something like that outrageous. He said, and look what it did to him. He said, when you do this, and that press get out the day, this guy. He said, and I was like, yeah, really? Okay.
You ate the bug?
I feel like throwing up right now thinking about it. It was like,
swallow it, right? I bet it's bitter.
The bug wasn't so bad, but having to pretend I like it was worse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, and then you had the little hairs and antennas in your teeth. That was the most uncomfortable for me. Eating a live, big, fat ass water. Good question.
My question was for all three of you. I wanted to ask, what was your favorite line?
In that movie or any movie?
In
Return of the Living Dead?
Yeah.
I was, you stupid fucker. You You are so cute. That's what I want to know. How do you get to be so cute?
Oh, my favorite line was probably, let's do that.
Let's do that. Oh, let's do that.
It was just such a weird line.
Yeah, what did we say? Let's go in the graveyard?
Yeah.
You said, let's go in the graveyard. Ooh, let's do that. That was the kind of line. That's good.
I'm sitting here trying to think of my favorite line. I can't think.
But I like it right. Tina! Freddie? Remember she said that every scene? Freddie?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I gave your seat away because I thought you died.
That was actually my question, but I had
Okay, well, thank you.
So, favorite piece of like fan art or fandom that's been given to you personally, what would you say over all the years?
Fans, gifts?
Yeah, like fan gift.
Someone made a replica of Freddy with the FU jacket on the back of him, of course. Full zombie, which was kind of cool. I had it in my, it's about.
He better make one of me.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I've got so many things that I don't know what my favorite is. I just got a breast for like
Oh,
that has like the lipstick going through it, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cute.
All right, mine was, like, again, I'm going to have to go back to Tour Duty. Tour Duty was about the Vietnam show that we shot, and we, because of this show, and because it was so meaningful, and I'm going to start by saying, I probably have 8 Purple Hearts at home. And if anybody knows what a Purple Heart is, and how you get a Purple Heart, a soldier gets a Purple Heart. And this show Vietnam, Tour Duty, Vietnam veterans, when they came back, every soldier you talk about now, we call them heroes. When the Vietnam veterans came back, they had to go run into the bathroom in the airport, take their uniforms off, and throw them away so nobody would know they were in the army, because they were spit on. Everywhere they went, they weren't called heroes, they were spit on. And nobody talked to about it, that's why they had so much PTSD. When Tour Duty came out, now after this show came out, it was a hit. Now they'd be sitting at home, and their kids and their mother and wives would be saying, hey, listen, so what happened? That happened? And they'd be like, wait, you talking to me? And it allows so many veterans to open up. I would go to airports, thousands of veterans. One time this guy literally walked up and kissed me right in the mouth and holding my face tight. He had no face. He had blown up. He got blown up, and he was a veteran. And he said, thank you. I've had 1,000 veterans come to me and hug and scream and cry, saying I was never able to talk to anybody about this until your show. I'll give you a great example. This was exactly what I'm talking about. I went to North Carolina for a little time. And I go to this little gas station that my friend owned who I went to school with. And everybody go out there and I pull it, oh, yeah. And then I got one of my friends come up to me, yeah, motherfucker, you see, motherfucker, this shit. Don't talk to him. Don't talk to him. He's crazy. I said, what do you mean he's crazy? I'm like, hold on. What? He's like, yeah, man, so they're overrunning our thing. They're overrunning camp. I said, wait. And I started explaining to him what he's saying to you is, he was in a camp and it's being overrun. That's why he's saying overrun camps. That's what they used to do. The Vietnamese would send, if you got this many people in a platoon times 5, 10 times this many people in a platoon, and you remember you ain't from there, so they would build these out in the middle of the jungle. What the Vietnamese would do is, they say, how many they got over there? 5, 10,000? Okay, fine. They'll send a wave in and let you just shoot them and dead. Send another wave in and shoot them and they're dead, and do it as long as it took till you ain't got no more bullets. And walk over the dead people and go in there and kill everybody. They did that over and over. They ain't give a damn. They just said waves and waves to they ain't got enough bullets to more men here. And then you run over bullets. And I was explaining to him, I said, keep going. And then he said, the howitzer is just going off. And I was like, okay, wait. Hold on. A howitzer is those big guns where you like it's to stick the thing in. So they're raining down howitzers on them first before they overrun. And I started explaining what he was saying, explaining. About an hour or so later, I drive away and I look out my rearview mirror, and there's a crowd of people around him. And for the last 20 years, nobody ever gave him the time of day. And that's what it did. So I would get Purple Hearts in the mail. I literally have Purple Hearts. And
so thank you.
Cannot give your Purple Heart.
Wow.
What was your favorite zombie in Return of the Living Dead?
Tarman.
Yeah!
And that guy that said, send more cars.
What about the little guy?
I knew him.
Oh, you knew him?
Yeah, he was on Venice Beach every weekend dancing.
Oh, my God.
Yes, I dance on Venice Beach.
I remember that.
Oh, he would have tons of money for years. People would go out there and watch him. He would no legs or arms, but he would dance.
And he made a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, that's how I do him. That was a good.
Yeah, that was a good one for me. Yeah, but Dan made him eat raw greens.
If I'd have known,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done. I didn't know shit, but I
Yeah.
would not let that man eat that boy.
I got on set when he was eating the brains, that scene.
No,
That was a real brain.
It was like real brains.
You can't do that now.
No, you can't eat bugs either.
Well, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Wow, he ate real brain.
Yes.
I think that's rude.
Cow brains.
Well, he's like, no.
No.
I'm eating brains.
He got sick. He got sick.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Of course he got
There you go.
You ate raw cow brains. You got sick.
Go figure. Yes, sir.
So it's funny you bring up the TV edit of the show. The first time I ever saw, or the movie, sorry, first time I ever saw Return of the Living Dead, my grandma recorded it off of like TNT or USA, some late night cable cut. Yeah, oh, she was my gateway into horror, man. So I watched this movie when I was like 7 or 8. I loved it. You know, it's top 3 favorite all-time horror movie. Going after the first one because the reason this rotated. But I never saw the F.U. jacket. I know what you're talking about. I never saw the pivotal dance scene in Graveyard. I never knew this stuff until high school. I caught the cut of it on Cinemax, and I was like, this is the same movie Grandma showed me. So that being one of my favorite movies of all time, what are each of your guys' like just a favorite or your favorite horror movie? I know you answered last night, Dario Argento. Yes. Yeah, each of you did good. Personal favorite one.
Mine was 4 Flies on Grey Velvet.
Never saw it. Never saw it.
People's on the not down
You know, I like the Omen and The Exorcist, and that thing, of course, you know. The Omen scared the shit out of me.
My favorite was the first Freddy Krueger.
And you didn't know if it was real, and you didn't know it was that was the very first one. And my first Jeepers Creepers, those two. Return of the Dead, Friday 13 for 5. Thank you. My cash app is
Hey, my name is Z. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Whew. Because like there's 3 movies, you know, with you guys in there that I'm just like super excited. So I actually like number 5, Jason. That's my favorite. And then, and damn enchiladas! I love that. And then of course the Return of the Living Dead. You guys were all great in there, and I watch it I watch it constantly. I love it. My question's for Linnea. My other favorite movie is of course Night of the Demons. Yes. And so my question is because of Night of the Living Dead and the Night of the Demons. I mean, obviously you're very sexual in there and everything. And by the way, great body still. So were you really nervous to do those scenes, or did your families ever have problems with that, like when you were doing that? Just my question.
No, I was nervous. Yes, I was nervous. It's like when you go to the doctors and you're sitting there in that little gown, you're like, that's what I felt like before doing the scenes and like trying to get my courage up. And my parents, I thought would have a big issue with it, but they didn't. My dad's a doctor, you know, and it was like, oh well, the human body, you would walk around and like, whatever, you know, and we didn't really put a lot of like credence to like, oh, it's dirty or something like that.
They're really supportive then.
So they were supportive, yeah. I was surprised that I thought,
Were they
like,
from Europe?
were they what?
From Europe? From Europe?
No, they were from here.
I'm not kidding. Because I was married to, my first wife was Swiss. I never had body freedom kind of thing.
That's true.
And my first wife's mother would walk around naked, and I was like, I want to see that shit. In front of you? I mean, what the hell?
In front of you?
That's not fair. It's not in front of me.
If you look at she was fine.
That's why I asked if they were from Europe, because,
Yeah, they're a lot freer in Europe, that's for sure.
Was that movie she's talking about before or after Return? What is she just talking about?
Night of the Demons was after.
Okay, because that's weird to me because I always say this. I was blown away how, and I think it's because with us and all of that, I was like, and that girl, she was just doing what I told her, she didn't care.
Once I started dancing, I didn't care. I just like blocked everything out. So, you know, but it's beforehand, you're like just so nervous.
Well, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
Well, thank
thank
you.
you. Appreciate you.
Where you going, little girl?
She's got a backpack.
This question's for Miguel. This is a Friday the 13th Part 5 question. Man, obviously a controversial. He's not a fan. Obviously a controversial entry since spoilers. Jason's not the killer. My question is, while y'all were filming it, were you aware that it was an imposter Jason? And if so, what were your thoughts on the film?
No, not at all.
Really? All right, thank you.
Maybe I should give you one. No, really. No, I didn't know that. Did you?
5 minutes.
I didn't know. Not to be the rescue squad now.
Y'all mentioned Tom Cruise earlier. Isn't that guy the nerd from the group? Doesn't he look like Tom Cruise?
He does. He resembles him a lot. Yeah. He's got that.
Yeah.
And he kind of talks like him a little bit.
Stop stroking my face, you perverse robot!
So last night when Linnea kind of talked about now we're looking at Return of the Living Dead Part 2. How did y'all promise parts?
We were all promised parts.
Thom was in it.
Yeah.
Kind of elaborate on that.
Well, Thom is promiscuous, and he's not.
She's joking.
I'm joking. We were all promised parts. Weren't you promised a part?
I had no idea. I was surprised.
I didn't care. I was working so damn much. I didn't go like, damn. I went from movie after that. Never stopped. So I didn't know anything about it. If they had called me, I'd have been happy. And I didn't even know they had done a part 6 until I saw it coming out.
Part 2.
I'm sorry, part 2, sorry.
Well, mine part 6 now.
Yeah.
But I did tell you that they called my agent for Friday the 13th at about 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, and they said Paramount called and they wanted me to be in the final episode of Friday the 13th. They were going to bring back some of the people from the most recognizable deaths. They're slowly were going to come back and kill them, and that was going to be the end. And they never got called. They called, and that's what they said. I want to know if you're available, would you be interested? I said, yeah, and then they never did.
That makes you mad.
Great, but I'm like, that's a really good idea. Bring some of this old back and he killed. That's what they were going to do, but I don't know what happened. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get away studio.
We got time for one more question.
Anybody? Not you, lady. Anybody else?
Well, yeah, because my question's for you. So.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
So sorry, Tom, but Friday 5 is my favorite. So, and Demon is actually my favorite character in the whole franchise. So.
Why don't you move up front, lady? Come
So my question is about Demon's weird, like multi-cuisine food band he's got going on. What was the thought behind that? Because it's like there's pizza, there's Chinese, there's everything. And did you guys actually eat that food?
Actually, I think there was some food. I think I was hungry, and I think that was some of the food because they kept saying bring more food in, and the director wanted to. There wasn't like food, and it didn't look really like it was lifted. And I remember he said no, and we had to go back and change it. They told me to go back, and they came in. They wanted to throw food around. They wanted Cheetos bag or pizza, whatever that shit is you saw. And then the director did all of that. To me, like again, first of all, I don't know what he's doing. They saw the vision. You know, a lot of these directors, you know, see that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Thank you for your question. All right, guys, y'all give a big round of applause.
And look at that top right there. Isn't that the most amazing outfit ever? Amazing. He'd be a great bodyguard in Hollywood, wouldn't he? Nobody gets to the streets. So thank you very much.